大家感谢神，今天要跟各位弟兄姐妹分享的题目是大而可畏的神。
So thank God the topic today is the great and awesome God.
我们先看这个申命记第7章。
Please look at Deuteronomy chapter 7.
申命记第7章。
Deuteronomy chapter 7.
申命记第7章，我们读21节。
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 21.
申命记第7章第21节。
Chapter 7 verse 21.
21节，你们不要因他们惊恐，因为主你神在你们中间是大而可畏的神。
Verse 21. You shall not be terrified of them, for the Lord your God, the great and awesome God, is among you.
申命记第7章这边讲到说，以色列人他们在要进这个迦南地之前，神说要把迦南地的这些异族都赶出去。
In Deuteronomy chapter 7, before God had allowed the Israelites to go into the land of Canaan, He had told them to cast out all the Gentiles.
然后神跟他们讲说，住在这里面的人，很多都是已经很强大的国了。
And God had told them that many people who are dwelling in these lands are from great nations.
然后他们有的人民也是非常的强壮。
And they have very strong people.
但是我们的神告诉他们不要惊怕。
But our God tells them that they should not be afraid.
然后神要他们记住，他们从埃及出来的时候神怎么样行大能跟奇事，带领他们出埃及。
And God wants them to remember how when He had let them out of Egypt that He had performed great miracles.
所以神是在他们中间的神。
And so God is the God among them.
那神也是大而可畏的神。
And God is a great and awesome God.
所以神会用他的大能把这些异族的人都慢慢的赶出去，让他们得到这应许之地。
And God will use His mighty power to cast out these Gentiles so that they may receive the promised land.
这是申命记7章的一个主题。
This is a theme in Deuteronomy chapter 7.
那过去1-2个礼拜，大概有一些什么流行性的感冒之类的，所以很多人身体可能都不太舒服。
In the past week or two, there have been some flus going around, so many people do not feel well.
我上个礼拜也觉得不太舒服。
And I did not feel well last week.
这个礼拜稍微好一点，不过还是没有完全好
I'm getting a little better, but still not completely healed yet.
然后这个2个礼拜前，我这个膝盖也不是很舒服，所以也是就是身体不舒服，这个脚也不是很舒服。
So 2 weeks ago, my knee was also hurting. So not only was I feeling well physically, but also my knees.
可是上个礼拜2的时候，我刚好要出差。
But last Tuesday, I had to go on a business trip.
因为我们是临时订的机票，所以都从LaGuardia 机场飞比较便宜，所以就坐这个6点钟的飞机从LaGuardia 飞出去。
It was a last-minute ticket, so it was from LaGuardia Airport.
然后你要去这个 LaGuardia 机场的话，那因为纽约很塞车嘛，所以就很早起来，所以3点钟就爬起来。
Because the flight was at 6 a.m. and to go to LaGuardia takes a bit of time, so I had to wake up at 3 a.m.
然后呢，开到机场以后，那个LaGuardia 机场设计得很差，那你停到一个，就算是停到最接近的这个机场，还要走很远才会到那个登机门。
Because the design of the LaGuardia Airport is not very good, and so even if you park as close as you can to the airport, you still have to walk a very long while.
然后那个时候脚也不是很舒服那头也很痛，所以就慢慢走。
And because I felt uncomfortable with my knees and I had a headache, so I had to walk slowly. 然后
到芝加哥以后，就我这个芝加哥的这个要转机的地方也很远，所以要从这个你去芝加哥机场，就说他有时候经过 terminal 说要经过一个很长的一个路。
And then when I had to do a transfer flight in Chicago, I also had to take a very long time to get to the gate.
所以总算走到了，不过走到的时候，人家都开始要登机了。
So once I had finally reached the terminal, when I was leaving, they were about to depart.
然后最后总算到了这个盐湖城了。
And then finally, I reached Salt Lake City.
然后还等这些同事都来了，
And I had to wait until my coworkers had
对
come.
啊，来了以后，然后还在那边，因为他们有的是从加州来的，所以他们就跑比较舒服，
Because some of them came from California, so it was easier for them.
所以就吃了一个从7点半开始吃晚餐，
So from 7:30 we had dinner,
吃到11点，
and we ate until 11.
11点完了以后，然后再去旅馆，
And after 11, went to the hotel.
然后开始要睡觉的时候都已经将近12点了。
When I was about to go to sleep, it was midnight.
12点的时候，然后又觉得头很痛，然后脚也很痛，所以也睡不太早。
And at midnight, because I still had a headache and my leg hurt, so I couldn't fall asleep.
然后再看一下钟，哎呀，竟然已经到2点了。
And then when I looked at the clock, it was already 2 a.m.
然后我就说，哎呀，我已经连续26小时没有睡觉了。
And then I realized that I haven't been asleep for over 26 hours.
那我就，然后明天因为早上又要起来做事，所以说，然后可是又觉得全身很痛，都睡不着哎。
But the next day, I had to wake up early to go to work, but I was physically so weak that I couldn't fall asleep.
然后就这个就头觉得很痛，然后觉得这个喉咙也很痛，然后这个脚也很痛。
So I had a headache, and my throat hurts, and my leg hurt.
所以就向神祷告了，
So then I prayed to God.
我说神啊，就让我睡一觉就可以了。
So I prayed to God, God, please just let me sleep.
然后我在睡觉的时候，我就想到了一首诗。
And then when I was sleeping, then I thought of a hymn.
我在开车的时候都会唱有一首短诗。
When I drive, I often sing this short hymn.
那这个短诗是很短的。
It's a very short hymn.
他就说这个我们的神是大而可畏的神啊。
It says that our God is an awesome God.
他是用他这大能来管理这世界的。
And he reigns from heaven above.
然后就这样子。
So this is a very short hymn.
就是说我们的神是大而可畏的神，他从天上掌管一切。
And it just says that our God is an awesome God and he reigns from heaven.
然后就一直就是然后我就开始唱这首诗了。
So I started to sing this hymn.
唱完以后我就觉得很舒服，然后我就睡着了。
And then after I sang that, I felt very comfortable, so I fell asleep.
所以我就跟各位分享说，我们在有的时候我们觉得是比较沮丧，或者说我们觉得比较困难的时候我们要记得我们的神是大而可畏的神啊。
So sometimes when we feel like we are depressed or we are uncomfortable, we can think about how awesome God is.
就像《申命记》7章这边说，神在我们中间，而且他是大而可畏的神。
Just like here it says in Deuteronomy chapter 7 that God is among us and he is a great and awesome God.
而且他是从天上看到一切，从天上掌管一切。
He sees and rules from heaven.
所以不管我们需要什么我们在什么样的遭遇里面，我们向他呼求，他都会帮助我们。
So whatever we need and in whatever situation, he can help us.
他也都做得到，
And he can do it
因为他是大而可畏的神啊。
because he is a great and awesome God.
那我们不需要惊慌
We don't need to be terrified.
我们也不需要去寻求任何我们追来追去想说要什么别的方法来解决。
We don't need to seek other ways to solve them.
我们要第一想到求我们的神来帮助我们。
The first we should think of is to ask our God to help us.
那我们这大而可畏的神他也替我们设立了一个爱的约。
Our great and awesome God has also set a great covenant to love man.
我们来看这个尼希米记
Let's look at Nehemiah.
尼希米记
Nehemiah.
尼希米记，我们看第1章
Nehemiah chapter 1.
第1章第4至6节。
Chapter 1, verse 46.
尼希米第1章第4节。
Chapter 1, verse 4.
我听见这话就坐下哭泣，悲哀极日，在天上的神面前禁食祈祷说：主天上的神，大而可畏的神啊，你向爱你、守你诫命的人守约施慈爱。第6节，愿你睁眼看，侧耳听你仆人昼夜在你面前为你众仆人以色列民的祷告，承认我们以色列人向你所犯的罪，我与我父家都有罪了。请读。
Verse 4. So it was when I heard these words that I sat down and wept and mourned for many days. I was fasting and praying before the God of heaven. Verse 5. And I said, I pray, Lord God of heaven, O great and awesome God, you who keep your covenant and mercy with those who love you and observe your commandments. Verse 6. Please let your ear be attentive and your eyes open. Let your ears be attentive and your eyes open, that you may hear the prayer of your servant, which I pray before you now, day and night, for the children of Israel, your servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against you. Both my father's house and I have sinned.
你这边记载有一个旧约有一个先知，他叫做尼希米。
There's a prophet in the Old Testament called Nehemiah.
他是在这个以色列亡国的时候的一个先知。
He was a prophet during the time when the kingdom of Israel had fallen.
这边记载说，这个尼希米他听到那些被掳的人说，以色列的这个圣殿被毁，然后城墙也被火焚烧所以他听到这话，他就坐下来哭泣，然后禁食祷告。
Nehemiah here had heard that the Israelites had been held captive and their temple had been destroyed, so he knelt down and prayed and cried.
所以他的祷告的内容是什么呢？
And what was the content of his prayer?
他说。大而可畏的神啊，你向爱你守你诫命的人守约施慈爱。
He said, O Lord God of heaven, O great and awesome God, you who keep your covenant and mercy with those who love you.
这是他向神所说的话，就是说我们的这个神向我们爱他然后愿意守他诫命的人他会守这个约，那这个约就是一个施慈爱的约。
And so he said that those who keep his covenant, and this covenant, he will also give mercy to those who observe his commandments.
所以在旧约的时候神对这个以色列人有一个约。
In the Old Testament time, God had a covenant with man.
这个约定就是说你若爱我的话，就要守我的这个诫命，然后神也会向他们施慈爱。
And the covenant with Israelites is that if you love me and keep my commandments, then he will show mercy.
那这个约是什么呢？
What is this covenant?
圣经这边讲到说，我们看第7节说，我们向你所行的甚是邪恶没有遵行你仆人摩西所吩咐的诫命律律典章。
In verse 7 it says, We have acted very corruptly against you, and have not kept the commandments, the statutes, nor the ordinances which you commanded your servant Moses.
这边讲到这个诫命。
So it talks about the commandments.
我们今天耶稣也曾经对那些问他说要得永生的人必须要做什么？
People have also asked Lord Jesus, what should we do to receive eternal life?
耶稣说我们也必须要守诫命。
Jesus said we need to keep our commandments.
这诫命就是神的十诫。
And the commandments are the 10 commandments of God.
这个十诫是神用他的自己的手写的。
And the 10 commandments were written by hand from God.
所以说到今天还是有效应的。
And even to this day, they are still effective.
那你如果不晓得十诫的内容是什么的话，你有空自己应该可以去读这个出埃及记20章。
If you don't know the content of the 10 commandments, then you can read Exodus chapter 20.
也就只有10条而已
There are only 10.
也许你不一定要可以全部背起来，不过你应该大约知道内容是什么。
Even if you don't memorize it, you should know the contents.
那其中的内容包括我们就只能敬拜这个独一神我们不能妄称神的名。
For example, we can only worship our one true God. We cannot blaspheme the name
我
of
们
God.
不可拜偶像。
We cannot worship idols.
然后第4诫命就是说我们要守安息日。
We also need to observe the Sabbath.
然后就是讲这些像是不可杀人不可偷盗不可犯奸淫不可作假见证等等。
Or we do not murder, do not lie, or do not steal.
那这10条诫命是很难守的吗？
Are these 10 commandments difficult to keep?
其实并不，很大部分的诫命已经甚至在这个普通国家的这个法律里面都已经定了。
Most of these commandments, even in the laws of nations, they have been set.
就算是像最后一条说不可做假见证害人的。
Or even the commandment to not bear false testimony.
你如果今天去美国的法庭，然后你要做证人的话，
If you go to the court and you have to testify as a witness,
他也会跟你说他要叫你起誓。
then they would tell you that you must swear.
他说你必须要只说真话，然后必须要说是诚实的你只能说诚实的话，然后完了还说愿神帮助我。
And you have to say, you have to swear an oath that contains that you have to speak the truth and nothing but the truth.
So help me God, right?
So help you God.
那我们觉得说这条这个步骤是哪里来的呢？当然从圣经来的。
So where are these words from? They're from the Bible.
所以说神并没有给我们很大的重担。
Our God did not give us great burdens.
在我们如果是甚至只要愿意做一个社会上有用的人，
If we are willing to be someone useful in the society,
那我们这10条诫命也是必须要遵守的。
we must keep these 10 commandments.
你如果要做一个好的父亲，要做一个好的丈夫或是一个好的妻子，或是好的太太，这10条诫命也是要遵守的。
If you want to be a good parent or a good spouse, you also need to follow these commandments.
你如果要做个好孩子，或者好学生做一个好的这个职员或者是个好老板这10条诫命也是要遵守的。
If you want to be a good child, a good student, a good employee, or a good boss, you have to obey these commandments.
那我们如果说要做一个好的基督徒当然也是要知道这10条诫命。
If we want to be a good Christian, of course, we need to know these commandments.
神是不可轻慢的。
God is a
cannot be mocked.
God is a God who cannot be mocked.
当然我们知道神给我们这个约是一个慈爱的约。
We know that this is a covenant that comes with mercy.
所以神是要借着他这个诫命来赐恩典给我们不是要赐灾祸给我们。
And so through this covenant, He wants to give us blessings and not suffering.
所以我们很自然做我们人类该做的事情，神会赐福给我们。
So if we do what we're supposed to as people, then God will bless us.
但是很多时候我们的意念却不是如此
But many times our thoughts are not like this.
我们故意要去做那些我们不该做的事情，
We do things that we should not do on purpose.
为了我们一些个人的所谓自由，或是我们一些个人的所谓一些想要的东西。
In order for our so-called freedoms or things that we want.
所以我们就干犯了神很多的事情。
And so we do many things that sin against God.
所以以色列人他们被亡国之前也是如此。
So before the Israelites had lost their kingdom, this also happened.
他们整个国都去拜偶像。
Their entire kingdom worshipped idols.
他们从王开始也就开始去拜偶像。
And from their kings, they started to worship idols.
然后他们在民中施行很多强暴的事情。
And there were also many violent things in their nation.
然后有很多淫乱的事情。
And many things of sexual immorality.
那神是不可轻慢的，就是说你如果做违背神的事情，神必定降罚。
God cannot be mocked, and so if you do things against the will of God, then you will be punished.
不要以为说我们可以离开神的愤怒。
Do not think that we can escape the wrath of God.
不要以为今天我做些小事情，神没有看到。
Do not think that we are just doing small things that God cannot see.
因为我们天上的神什么都看得到，
Because our God in heaven can see everything.
而且他是大而可畏的神。
And He is a great and awesome God.
他今天没有降罚下来，是因为给我们机会悔改。
If He has not punished us today, it is because He is giving us the chance to repent.
那这部尼希米的这个时候神已经向以色列他的这个选民实行他的这个惩罚。
Here God is punishing his chosen people.
但是尼希米还是向神祷告，
But Nehemiah still prayed to God,
他向神认罪，
and he admitted his sins to God.
他还说我们以色列人有罪了，我跟我父家都有罪了，因为我们都没有违背神呢。
He says that my father's house and I have sinned.
我们都做很多恶事，
We have done things against God.
所以我们今天也是如此了。
And so today we are the same.
我们不管发生什么事情我们一定要记得赶快来向神悔改。
Whatever has happened to us, we need to immediately repent to God.
神也许也是还会处罚我们，
Perhaps God would still punish us.
但是我们赶快向神悔改的话，我们可以向神说：神啊，你要给我的这个约，你要给我这个诫命，是慈爱的这个约。
But if we pray to God, we tell God that we know this covenant He has given us is a covenant of mercy.
所以说也许我们可以从神那边得到赦免。
So perhaps we may be forgiven by God.
所以这是一个重要的地方。
This is a very important thing.
我们再看这个但以理书第5章。
Let's look at Daniel chapter 5.
但以理书第5章。
Daniel chapter 5.
但以理书第5章。
Daniel chapter 5.
我们从第1节先读到第6节。
From verse 1 to 6.
5章第1节到第6节。
Daniel 5 from 1 to 6.
伯沙撒王为他的1000大臣设摆筵席，与这1000人对面饮酒。第2节，
Verse 2.
伯沙撒欢饮之间，吩咐人将他父尼布甲尼撒从耶路撒冷殿中所掠的金银器皿拿来。王与大臣的皇后嫔妃好用这器皿饮酒，于是他们就把耶路撒冷神殿库中所掠的金器皿拿来，王与大臣、皇后、嫔妃就用这器皿饮酒。第4节，
Verse 4.
他们饮酒赞美金银铜铁木石所造的神。第5节，
Verse 5.
当时忽有人的指头显出，在王宫与灯台对面的粉墙上写字。王看见写字的指头。第6节， 就变了脸色，心意惊惶，腰骨好像脱节，双膝彼此相碰。请读。
Verse 1. Belshazzar the king made a great feast for 1,000 of his lords and drank wine in the presence of the 1,000. Verse 2. While he tasted the wine, Belshazzar gave the command to bring the gold and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple which had been in Jerusalem, that the king and his lords, his wives, and his concubines might drink from them. Verse 3. Then they brought the gold vessels that had been taken from the temple of the house of God which had been in Jerusalem, and the king and his lords, his wives, and his concubines drank from them. Verse 4. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and silver, bronze and iron, wood and stone. Verse 5. In the same hour, the fingers of a man's hand appeared and wrote opposite the lampstand on the plaster of the wall of the king's house. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Verse 6. Then the king's countenance changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his hips were loosened, and his knees knocked against each other.
我们请再看第17节。
Let's look at verse 17.
第17节。
17.
但以理在王面前回答说：“你的赠品可以归你自己，你的赏赐可以归给别人，我却要为王读这文字，把讲解告诉王。”我们读到跳到第23节。
Verse 23.
23节。
23.
竟向天上的主至高，使人将他殿中器皿拿到你面前，你与大臣、皇后、嫔妃用这器皿饮酒，你又赞美那不能看、不能听、无知无识、金银铜铁木石所造的神，却没有将荣耀归与那手中有你气息管理一切行动的神。24节，因此从神那里显出指头来写这文字，所写的文字是米尼提克勒乌法尔辛。讲解是这样子，米尼就是神已数算你国的年日，直到完毕。 27节，
27
以克勒就是你被称在天平里，显出你的亏欠。28节，
28.
昆勒斯就是你的国分裂归于马代跟波斯人。29节，
29.
波沙撒下令人就把紫袍给带领你穿上，又把金链戴在他颈项，又传令使他国中传位第三。30节，
30.
当夜加勒底王伯沙撒被杀，马代人大利乌年62岁取了加里的帝国。
31. 23. Verse 23, and you have lifted yourself up against the Lord of heaven. They have brought the vessels of his house before you, and you and your lords, your wives and your concubines have drunk wine from them, and you have praised the gods of silver and gold, bronze and iron, wood and stone, which do not see or hear or know, and the God who holds your breath in his hand and owns all your ways, you have not glorified. 24, then the fingers of the hand were sent from him, and this writing was written. 25, and this is the inscription that was written, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. 26, this is the interpretation of each word. Mene, God has numbered your kingdom and finished it. 27, Tekel, you have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. 28, Paris, your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and Persians. 29, then Belshazzar gave the command, and they clothed Daniel with purple and put a chain of gold around his neck and made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. 30, that very night Belshazzar, king of the Chaldeans, was slain. 31, and Darius the Mede received the kingdom, being about 62 years old.
这段圣经记载这个巴比伦帝国灭亡的那一天。
This passage spoke about the day the Babylon kingdom had perished.
那我们知道这个古巴比伦帝国算是那个时候当代的这个超级强国。
We know that the ancient kingdom of Babylon was a superpower kingdom in the past.
在这个古代就相当于我们像今天的这个苏联啊，或是美国。
In the ancient times, it was as powerful as Russia or America.
那这一段历史你如果上网找的话它的记载也是一样的。
If you look at the historical recordings, it is the same.
就算是别国非圣经的这个历史记载或是考古学家，他们都会说是记载非常相同。
Even from historians and archaeologists, their recordings are very similar.
就是这个巴比伦城是一个非常大又坚固的城。
That Babylon was a very strong city.
那几乎是没有办法攻下来的。
It was almost impossible to take over.
而且它在现在这个两河流域的这个的支流当中有这个幼发拉底河做护城河。
And because they also had the river Euphrates as a river to protect the city.
所以说在古代如果有这个护城河的话，那城墙又高大，所以就攻不进去。
If there are very high walls and a river to protect them, it was difficult to take over a city.
但是这个按照这个考古学家记载是，这波斯人就是把这个幼发拉底河的河水给这个divert 怎么讲？引到别的流所以河水变低的时候，他们就趁夜趁这河水低的时候就是从这个城墙下面进入这个巴比伦城。
But according to archaeologists, the Persian had diverted the river water to another stream so that once the water level was low enough, then they could go under the river and go into Babylon.
然后那个时候他们又记载说巴比伦全城在做一个很敬拜偶像的一个很大的这个宴会。
And because at the time the city of Babylon had a great feast to worship their idols.
然后他们认为他们这个城墙跟这个护城河是这么的先进，所以是不可能被打败的。
Because they thought they had the river and the walls to protect them, so they could not be defeated.
可是却在一天之中不战而败连兵都没有办法发，就整个帝国就灭亡了。
Yet in one day, even before they could send out their armies, then the entire city was defeated.
这是我们大而可畏的神可以做的事情。
This is something that our great and awesome God can do.
我们今天也许认为我们是在一个很平安的地方。
Perhaps today we think we are in a very safe place.
也许美国当然是现今是最强大的国家。
We know that right now the United States is the most powerful country.
但是不管一个国家或是一个社会或是一个人民再强大，
But no
再有能
matter
力，
how strong or powerful a country is,
我们如果做违背神的事情，
if we do things that sin against God,
像这边记载，这个巴比伦王，
for example, it records here the king of Babylon.
这个巴比伦王他在做这个敬拜偶像的这个吃喝玩乐的这个场合里面，
In this situation, during the feast, worshiping the idol,
他想要这个炫耀说他敬拜的这个假神是高过以色列的神，
he wanted to show off that the idols he worshipped were higher than God, the
所
God
以
of
所以
Israelites.
他把这些这个从这个耶路撒冷掳来的这些在圣殿里面的这些金器啊什么的拿来做这个饮酒作乐。
And so they brought the gold vessels that had been from the temple of the house of God to drink from them.
那当然神是非常不喜欢的，
So God was not pleased.
所以神甚至用这个指头写给他看的。
And so God even used a finger to write for them.
那如果仔细读这一章的时候，你就会看到说神是非常的慈爱，其实已经先前就给他的上一位巴比伦的王知道说这个以色列的这个神是独一无二的神。
And if we look at the passage, we know that God was already very merciful and he had shown himself to be that he is the only God.
但是他这个儿子却然看到这一切，竟然还是不知道，还是不愿敬畏神的。
But his son, even though he knew this, he still did not fear God.
所以神跟他说：“你被称在天平里，显出你的亏欠的。”
And so God has said that you have been weighed in the balances and found wanting.
所以我们今天如果被神的天平称称看，我们是不是有亏欠的？
So today, if we are weighed in the balances by God, will we be found wanting?
那我们的国家、我们的社会，或是说我们所居住的一些从事的这些事情在神的天平称称看，是不是有亏欠的？
Or the things that the country where we live are doing are being weighed, then would they be found wanting?
那如果有亏欠的话，那就是我们就要注意了。
If they have been found wanting, then we must be careful.
因为再舒适的环境，再舒服的这个事情，这个再顺利的地方神也可以让你一夜全部颠覆。
Because even if we think we are living in a very peaceful or smooth situation, in one day God can destroy it all.
这就是我们每一个人都要为要祷告的事情。
And this is something that all of us should pray for.
我们存在这个世界看起来好像是非常尤其是我们存在这个美国，好像是一个非常安全非常强大的地方。
We live in the United States that seems very peaceful and powerful.
似乎说是我们有两个这个很大的这个海洋，然后可以不，所以外国不会随便攻进来。
Even though we are surrounded by two oceans on either coast, and it seems that it is difficult for people to attack us.
但是我们如果没有一直做违背神的事情，
But if we continue to sin against God,
在一天之内也可以覆灭。
in one day it can also be destroyed.
这是我们大而可畏的神呐。
And this is from our great and awesome God.
所以我每次有时候在这个读到这段圣经的时候我们就有这个警惕的。
So every time I read this passage and I see this warning,
这也是历史上可以应验的。
this is something that has been proven by history.
我们的神是真的掌管宇宙万物、天下所有一切的事情。
Our God is the God who controls the universe.
我们大而可畏的神，他做一个更伟大的事情。
And our great and awesome God has done something even greater.
我们看这个约翰福音3章。
Let's look at John chapter 3.
约翰福音第3章第16节。
John chapter 3, verse 16.
约翰福音3章16节。
John 3, verse 16.
我想很多人都知道这一段。他
Many
说
of us know this.
神爱世人，甚至将他独生子赐给我们，叫一切信他的人不至灭亡，方得永生。
Verse 16, For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
我们先前读到说，在旧约我们大而可畏的神是给我们一个 给我们一个约。
We know that from the Old Testament, our great and awesome God has given us a covenant.
这个约其实是一个守约施慈爱的约。
This covenant is a covenant for those who keep His commandments, and it comes with mercy.
所以说我们是要让我们得怜悯、得慈爱、得福气的约。
So this is a covenant that will give us mercy and love and blessing.
在新约，神可以给我们一个新的这个爱的约。
In the New Testament, God has also given us a new covenant of love.
他的这个约是什么呢？
What is this covenant?
他就是将他的这个独生子就是耶稣赐给我们的。
That He has given us His only begotten Son, Jesus.
那所以我们信耶稣的人就不至灭亡，反得永生了。
So that if we believe in Lord Jesus, then we shall not perish but have everlasting life.
什么叫做不至灭亡呢？
What does it mean to not perish?
灭亡就是不仅仅是生命丧失而已，
To perish is not just to lose our physical life,
而是我们灵性的我们的灵魂也被灭亡了。
but that our soul would also be destroyed.
他会在一个很痛苦的地方，在地狱里面接受惩罚。
And we would be punished and very painful in a very horrible place in hell.
可是我们如果信耶稣的话，我们就不会灭亡，反得永生了。
But if we believe in Lord Jesus, not only will we not perish, but we will have everlasting life.
什么叫做反得永生呢？
What does it mean to have everlasting
就
life?
是说我们复活的这个灵魂我们会回去神那里
It means that when we resurrect, our soul will return to God
就是神的这个天国，
and return to the heavenly kingdom
因为
of
我们
God.
本来就是神所造的，
Because we were created by God.
我们就是神的子女，
We are the children of
我
God,
们就回到天家了。
and we will return to the heavenly home.
这个就是我们大而可畏神在新约为我们做的事情。
This is what our great and awesome God has done in the New Testament.
他做的大事是非常的大。
He has done great things.
他派遣耶稣来这个世界拯救罪人
He has sent Lord Jesus here to save the sinners.
可是他也是可畏的，
But He is also an awesome God.
因为有天国就有地狱啊。
Because if there is heaven, then there is hell.
如果只有天国没有地狱的话，那大家都去天国，那就没什么了不起了，
If there is only heaven and no hell, then everyone would just go to heaven and there is nothing new.
对不对？那每个都天国，那有什么好拯救的？没什么好救的嘛，对不对？大家都去一样的地方，有什么了不起？
There's no one to save because everyone would go to the same place.
有天国就有地狱啊。
If there is heaven, then there is hell.
我们不太愿意想这个事情，因为这是一个很负面的消息
We don't like to think about this because it's very negative,
但是这也是一个事实
but this is true.
所以我们不被灭亡反得永生，是多么美好的一件事情
How beautiful is it that we should not perish but have everlasting life?
然后我们要做的就是信耶稣而已
We only need to believe in Lord Jesus.
那我们再看罗马书，
Let's look at Romans.
罗马书5章。
Romans chapter 5.
罗马书5章，我们看7到9节。
Romans chapter 5, verse 7 to 9.
罗马书5章7到9节，
Romans 5, verse 7 to 9.
第7节。
Verse 7.
为一人死是少有的，为人人死或者有敢做的。第8节。
Verse 8.
唯有基督在我们还做罪人的时候为我们死，神的爱就在此向我们显明了。第9节。
Verse 9.
现在我们要靠着他的血称义，就更要借着他免去神的愤怒。第10节。
Verse 10.
因为我们做仇敌的时候，既借着神儿子的死得与神和好，既已和好，就更要因为他的生得救了。
Verse 7. For scarcely for a righteous man will one die, yet perhaps for a good man someone would even dare to die. 8. But God demonstrates His own love towards us, in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. 9. Much more then, having now been justified by His blood, we shall be saved from wrath through Him. 10. For if when we were enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of His Son, much more, having been reconciled, we shall be saved by His life.
这边圣经告诉我们新约的一段真理
Here it tells us the truth from the New Testament.
这是我们大而可畏神所设立的。
This is what our great and awesome God has established.
在我们还是软弱啊，在我们还不认识神的时候，在我们还是罪人的时候，耶稣就为我们死了。
While we were still weak, we did not know God, and when we were sinners, Christ died for us.
圣经告诉我们说，神的爱就在此显明，就是我们还是罪人的时候，神就为我们死了。
The Bible was telling us that while we were still sinners, then God had died for us.
我们今天也许很多这个父母会为自己的子女而死，
Perhaps we have many parents who would be willing to die for our children.
有很多爱国的人愿意为这个国家而死，
Many people who love their country are willing to die for their country.
但是愿意为罪人而死的，我看很少啊。
But to be willing to die for sinners, I think there are very few.
可是这就是耶稣告诉我们神的爱啊。
But this is what God is telling us about the love
在
of
我们
Christ.
不认识他的时候，在我们还是在犯罪的时候，在我们还没有向善的时候，神就为我们死了。
Even before we knew Him, when we were sinners, then Lord Jesus had died for us.
那我们是借着耶稣基督流出来的血而称义。
And we have been justified by His blood.
因为耶稣基督他流血，所以我们就免去了我们在神面前的愤怒。
Because Lord Jesus had blood for us, so we have been saved from wrath.
所以我们的神就不再因为我们的愤怒而我们得到这个神儿子的这个身份。
So that we have not only escaped the wrath of God, but we can be called His children.
我们看11节，
Verse 11.
不但如此，我们也借着我主耶稣基督得与神和好，也就借着他以神为乐。
Verse 11. And not only that, but we also rejoice in God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have now received the reconciliation.
这边中文说用一个很有意思的字眼哈，以神为乐。
In Chinese, it says that we can have joy as God.
我们今天早上一直讲到说，这个神在旧约的时候，他是他自己也说他是大而可畏的神，因为他是创造宇宙万物有神的。
In the Old Testament, we know that has been said God is a great and awesome
他
God.
可以在埃及降10灾使以色列人出埃及。
He could have the 10 plagues fall in Egypt so that Israelites could escape Egypt.
他可以开红海让以色列人过埃及。
He can open the Red Sea for the Israelites to pass through.
他可以使这个迦南的人全部替他们赶出去，让以色列人居住。
He could have the Canaanites be cast out so that Israelites could live there.
他也可以在一夜之间使这个巴比伦帝国全部灭亡。
And in one night, He allowed the kingdom of Babylon to fall.
是一个大而可畏的神啊！
He is a great and awesome God.
可是我们借了耶稣基督，我们可以与这个大而可畏的神当做我们的乐，当做是我们快乐的，好像是一个朋友这样子啊。我看到你很高兴这样子。
But through Lord Jesus Christ dying for us, then we can have joy in God and be close with Him as if He is our friend.
这个就是我们伟大的神为我们做最伟大的事情。
This is our great and awesome God who has done a great thing for us.
所以这位创造宇宙万物大而可畏的神不是一个离我们很远我们看到就怕的神。
And so this God who has created the universe is not a God who is far away from us.
虽然说他在旧约所立的约也是一个吃实在的约，
Even though He established a covenant in the Old Testament time that was merciful,
他有圣经告诉我们神是爱。
the Bible has also told us that God is love.
所以神在新约的时候又借着耶稣基督告诉我们他是多么的爱我们。
And so in the New Testament, then God is also using Jesus to tell us how much He
所以
loves
我们
Him.
今天有一个机会，我们接受耶稣基督的宝血称义的话，我们可以以神为乐。
So today, if we have the opportunity to be justified by God, then we can rejoice in God.
我们看到神，我们说：“哎呀，我们很高兴看到你啊！”
When we see God, we can say that we are happy to
我
see
们今
Him.
天来教会看到神，我们今天来教会聚会，我们是很高兴的。
When we come to church and we can see God, we are very happy.
我们不是因为说：“哎呀，我怕的要死，我怕我今天不去教会，到时候被雷劈了。”
We shouldn't be coming in fear and think that if I don't come to church, then I may be struck by lightning.
不是这样子的。
It is not like
我们
this.
今天是以神为乐。
We can rejoice in God.
虽然说我们这个神永远是大而可畏的神，
Even though our God is always the great and awesome
但
God,
是借着耶稣基督，我们神已经看到我们不为我们愤怒了。
through Lord Jesus Christ, and God no longer has wrath with us,
我们与神和好了，
and we have reconciled with
我
God,
们就像他的孩子，
and we are like His
我
children,
们也可以与神为乐。
and we can rejoice in God.
这就是我们神伟大的地方
This is what is great about God.
这也就是我们大而可畏的神
And this is our great and awesome God.
我们请唱诗
Please sing hymn
474首。
474.